Welcome to Patch Player 2's weekly podcast. I'm your host, Paul James, and I'm again joined by Damo and Jay Parnas. So we're into the patch updates for the month, and we're going to kick things off with Damo, where you're going to tell us a little bit about what you've been playing. Starting with, and if you watched last week's episode, you would have seen that Damo just returned from having played The Last of Us Part 2, something I'm really jealous of. Tell us all about your time.
It was terrible. They had these things that did stuff, and that dude who's a bad guy, and
okay, Damo didn't actually play. He played a lot of Fire
Basically,
Emblem.
they had a lot of.
Tell us about Fire Emblem.
They had a lot of action reloads. They had a lot of cover-based shooting. There was this new gun in The Last of Us that basically had a chainsaw attached to the bottom of it. Real rudimentary, like real basic stuff. There were these guys that jumped out of holes in the ground. They were no longer zombies. Actually, you know what? I think you might have played Gears of War now that I think about it.
Alright, so on to what you actually...
well, I could apparently marry people and shit as well. And
on to what you actually played. Fire Emblem.
I think you also... Sounds like you played Stardew Valley, actually.
Actually,
let's get on to what did you play?
That's coming to consoles next week.
Is it really?
Yes.
Game of the Year?
I had to think about when this episode was going up. Next week.
Okay. Game of the Year 2017?
It came out early this year for PC, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
Did you play Stardew Valley at all, Dale?
I don't know.
Do you like Harvest Moon?
No.
Oh,
Okay.
then maybe not for you.
Do you like Fire Emblem? Take all of the tactics out of Fire Emblem.
Just replace it with everything
Just
else.
call it Fire Emblem and you'll still like it.
That's right.
Alright,
Just
what have you played?
we'll call it Fire Emblem Harvest Mode. Let's call it that.
There's a couple that we have in common anyway, so Damo...
Alright. Well, we'll start off with like what I played first. So I'd been meaning to buy Age of Mythology for a very, very long time, and I was like,
old PC, like Age of Empires.
Yeah. But you start as the Greeks, then you move on to the Egyptians.
Always the Greeks.
There's Vikings, I think.
I have it.
And you do have it.
Oh,
It's
okay.
you actually have it, and you've downloaded it because it's like people that like. It's in that list of things in Steam. But anyways, I really enjoyed it. Like, I'd always been meaning to buy it, and I was like, I can't be fucked waiting for a sale. Didn't know. I thought like Christmas sales were going to be the next one.
Turns out Black Friday.
A week later, and it was Black Friday. And I'm like, well, that's shit. It's $2.
Did you check the price that it came
Oh,
down
it didn't
to?
drop super much,
Okay.
but I mean, again, like I was like, oh, well, fuck it, whatever. Like, Trump's president. I'm sure the Aussie dollar is going to rise really quickly. That didn't happen either.
Yeah.
The world is lying to me.
Turns out instead it's the whole world that's on fire.
And America's fine.
Well done, guys. You did well. You made me happy.
He was like, hey Taiwan, how you doing? You on fire too? Good. And China was like, go fuck yourself.
Berries.
As they point their rockets at us.
Yeah. Real topical. Let's get on with it.
But yeah, no, it's really good. I can see why it was good for its time. I like the fact that Steam opened up the workshops, that there's plenty of mods there that now like up the graphics and things. Like the problem I have with it is Blizzard always did such a great job with their character models, and this just doesn't seem to do the same amount of work for something that's amazing.
I thought for a moment you were saying it was a Blizzard game. I'm like, hang on.
No,
right,
no.
you're comparing it to a Blizzard game.
Yeah.
Like,
I was going to say, that's not who made Age of Empires, was it? Fuck.
Spicy memes, Age of Empires style is good.
Can I ask you a very, very important
I haven't
question?
seen a priest. Oh, I've seen a priest. Though.
Can you cheat in a car?
I don't know. I actually haven't looked up the cheats because I'm afraid as soon as I do, I'm just going to type in Big Daddy 50 times.
Big Bertha?
I think that
No, Big Bertha was the fucking thing that could just launch a fucking thing that'll take 5 minutes.
Big Daddy
and
was
just
the car.
obliterate everything on that side of the map. It's like if you had if you had your army walking and that thing launched because it saw something in its range, like your guys were as dead as everything else in that area.
I did love that.
But yeah, then I played some Wacky Wheels because clearly.
What's Wacky Wheels?
You never play Wacky Wheels?
You might just need to refresh me. I don't know.
He might know, but our audience might not.
Oh, so it's only the greatest driving game ever. Like, it beats the shit out of Mario Kart.
So it's Burnout Paradise is what you're saying.
It's like Mario Kart made by, was it Aquasoft?
People who are not as good as Nintendo.
No, they did a whole bunch of games. They did Hocus Pocus, Wacky Wheels, Terminal Velocity. I brought the whole pack, and I was like, fucking Wacky Wheels. This is the tits.
What
Like,
was it? What was its original platform?
PC. It's always been.
Oh, it was a PC game? Okay.
So this was another big Steam sale.
Okay.
No, just someone told me that it was available ages ago, and I brought it ages ago.
Sure,
and now I
finally
just
got around
like
to
fucking. Oh yeah, because it was like 50 games, like Duke Nukem and all them, like the old Duke Nukem.
Oh yeah, shit. All right.
So like I was like, fuck yeah, and
How much was the pack? If you're sorry to segue.
Oh, I think it was like $30.
Cool. I might have a look into
yeah,
that.
it's definitely worth it. It was like 80 games in there or something like that. It's
Yeah, right.
incredible.
So it's good value then.
Yeah, and like Halloween Harry, the works. But yeah, I was jumped back on Wacky Wheels and I was like, I wonder if this is dated now, like if this is just terrible. And it's not. It still feels like, you know, if I was on a console playing, you know, Mario Kart, it would be the exact same thing. It's transitioned very well. Like it's like, yep. And now that, you know, because like you used to be able to buy the demos for like, you know, $1 down at the
Shareware.
market. Yeah. And now like, you know, this is the full thing. So I was like, oh my god, all these courses I've never played, and like all the characters, like there's a panda that I never got to play because you're animals. I should tell you that. You're animals that drive around in a car and shoot hedgehogs at each other. It's pretty awesome. But like, it's very nostalgic and really cool. Also, I picked up during the Steam sales. I actually picked up a bunch of games. I only got to play a couple of them because of the game after what I'm about to talk about was taking up all my time recently. I did buy Into the Gungeon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was like, fuck it, why not? Like that's there.
That shit's hard.
I think I can't remember. I think I bought the second Binding of Isaac. Actually I didn't. I don't love Binding of Isaac, to be honest.
It's possibly, is it the 8-way, or sorry, is it the cardinal shooting that gets you?
No,
that's what always got me.
Just the whole thing, like, you know, it's like, oh cool, you could do really well in one, like the first floor, and then it's like, yeah, and now you're just going to do terrible because you got, you know, nothing. Like the randomness of it,
it's too random as far as a roguelike
and like, you know, like I know a guy that like plays it, and he's like, if he doesn't get what he needs in the first thing, he just like starts and restarts. And it's like, I can't. That's not my kind of.
Yeah, that's not fun.
It's not my. Like, I mean, I get why it's good, and I appreciate why people love it, but it's not my thing.
The Gungeon is way better about that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Did you get a chance to play it?
No.
I would recommend that you get really used to doing the combat roll.
Okay. That's cool.
Because if you don't, and you start to try and you learn to play without it, you'll realise, oh shit, that's a thing I super need, and I'm not used to doing it.
Yep.
Get used to doing it a lot, because if you do that, you'll be able to actually survive.
Oh, fair enough.
Sweet.
That's
cool.
hot tip.
And what Damo's going to talk about now is his favourite 3DS game this year that is not Fire Emblem, Pokemon Moon.
Ori and the Blind Forest.
Yeah, Pokemon Moon. Like, I also played Ori and the Blind Forest. It was really cool. You should check that out.
But fuck that noise.
Like,
There's
because like the
Pokemon.
problem was like I couldn't find it on my Steam because it's like
problem was dead,
it,
I
I
forgot
got
it was on the
upgraded to the definitive like edition,
Oh,
definitive
right.
edition. I was like, oh, fine, whatever, same fucking price. Buy that instead.
May as well.
Sure.
Came with like the soundtracks, all good stuff. Like, definitely check it out.
One
like,
of the best games of 2015, Ori and the Blind Forest.
is that 2015? Shit. Oh well.
Do you think it came out last or this year?
Moon. Yeah, I thought it came out this year.
Yeah, no.
But that was something else. Or
Yeah.
maybe it wasn't. Who cares? Pokemon Moon, get on it. Where is it? Yeah, who cares about the sun? Moon's where it's at, baby. But don't, seriously.
Ladies and gentlemen, for you of the Night Owl persuasion.
Oh,
Sun and Moon. And Sun is the better choice.
nah.
So basically Mike,
Look, if
to
I'm
tell-
honestly
to
going to
tell
say,
Michael's story
this
first,
really feels
No.
like a whole nother, like, red and blue situation.
Okay.
Where I had blue, and I loved blue, but as soon as I
creating
looked at
genuine
what was
dividing.
happening on red, I went, shit, Scyther. That's where it was at.
You're right.
That's exactly where
Scythe is where it's
See, for
at.
me, the case here was very simple. When I showed Angelica the trailers, here's the Pokemon games that are coming out, she goes, I want Moon. Alright, I guess I got Sun. And I'm real happy I got Sun. I feel like I won out.
Yeah.
Why? Why is that?
I just reckon Pokemon are cool.
Okay.
There's a couple
So-
in there that, you know, exclusives. Like, I mean,
Yeah, I mean, it would be Pokemon if there wasn't a
I
version
think I'm
exclusives.
halfway through the game now. Like, I know guys that have 100% of their Podex already, and people that have beaten the Elite Four, and now they're building their super teams, whatever. I haven't had this much fun on a Pokemon game. Like, X and Y was cool,
I really liked X and Y. That's what kind of got me back into it. I
and
dropped off for a few
I think we all did. Like, I mean, we played Diamond and Pearl.
I got into Diamond and Pearl.
Yeah.
My favourite, I think, was Ruby and Sapphire, like the first time round.
Yeah.
I got hard into that shit. That was when I was playing that on, shall we say, less than appropriate means during a very like emulator heavy era.
Yes, actually, there was a Japanese version that was kicking about too, and fans had translated because there was a lengthy delay between.
Oh no, I played it. It was after it was out. It was just a matter of like I had a bunch of spare time and. Yeah, I just got really hard into that particular generation.
Yeah,
it was...
I mean, a lot of people say it's the best.
Favourite Pokemon is Garbodor.
Pardon? Garbodor.
No, he's...
You know, when I come across it, I'm gonna punch it in the face.
I mean, it's
and
just...
I'm gonna
to that video where that
it was so dumb.
Crop the Garbodor in.
Dislike this video if you thought that was dumb. How did you like that? Oh. Damn apples!
Right.
Don't please like, share, and subscribe.
If you did like that, please like, comment, subscribe.
yeah.
Like it again, create another account, and like it a third time.
No, it's really cool. Like, I mean, it's a lot harder this time to do the training, where like the X and Y made it really simple. You just played the mini game, and like
the super training.
Yeah,
they've got hyper training in this one where you can up your IVs, which is your like birth stats. Like you can basically mess with your DNA, which is weird.
Really cool. I mean, it's cool because it's given like, you know, those tournament players like a real challenge now. They can't just fucking jump online and be like, hey, you want to battle? It's like, yeah, sure. Oh my god, what did I get myself into? Like, now you know. Like, if someone's asking to battle you that you don't know, don't accept. Like, because they're obviously putting in a lot of time to just... it killed me that my favourite Pokemon of all time is not in there from X and Y, which was Helios, the frilled neck lizard with Tri-Skin.
It's a real good. It's a real good.
Surf and Thunder, like, come on.
I mean, I would like to point out that Nidoking
but you could bring him
also
across from X and Y, couldn't you?
Pardon?
You can't.
You can't.
If you can Pokemon Bank and all
yes,
those
you can.
Yeah, you can't until you get to the end of the game.
Yes, that's what we're talking about a little earlier with region decks versus national decks, that type of stuff.
Yeah, right now.
So they're in the they're in the larger collection of Pokemon, but not the collection that is, shall we say, native to that region.
Yeah, now I'm with you. Okay, cool. But go on, what are you liking about it?
It just feels fun. It feels more challenging than the other Pokemon games in the past. Like, obviously you can grind out a little bit and things. The Z moves aren't as bad as I thought they would be. The calling for help is really freaking annoying. Like, because it's just like, alright, so you got to move and you got to call for help when I was about to throw the Pokeball the next turn. Oh, go away. There needs to be more moves that hit all Pokemon.
Yeah, okay.
Like, that's just a real kind of...
They're usually like the higher...
Yeah.
Like level up type ones. So
like even give like half the damage that it would normally do across two Pokemon. Like, give it the old like RPG style, like just
Secret of Evermore business. Now we're talking. Get on it.
Like, you know.
Last month's Gamescom.
I don't know. It's.
See, I'm all over this shit.
And of course, I've been playing Demon Crest, and that's about all I've been playing, and that's all I'm going to say about Demon Crest until next week.
Yeah, until next week where we do the Gamescom. So, Jay,
you want to jump to me?
You spoke about how you had a massive list of games, and then list of half dozen.
I mean, it's the same size list as Damo's if you factor in The Last of Us Part 2 and Fire Emblem, neither of which he played. So,
as if Damo didn't play Fire Emblem at least for a little bit this month.
No.
Neither got to confirm nor deny.
We can't have dead air. Quick, give us the truth. Go for it, Jay.
Alright, so this month I'll kick it off with I was playing Borderlands 1, went back to playing that with my lady friend, which was good fun. That shit gets hard in the end.
Yeah.
Like, the end game is real tough. The DLC, I would say, in that is some of the best DLC in games that's been made. Even more so with Borderlands 2. I would argue
Borderlands DLC's the pinnacle.
Yeah, basically, they're at the top end. Like, very few things make me want to buy a season pass. Borderlands 1, I actually bought them individually because this is back when they had part 1 and part 1 and 2 of the season pass. I bought on disc. Just to give you to give you an idea of how old that shit is. But then
that was before everyone had like.
Yeah,
well,
that's right.
But we just didn't have solid internet.
Yeah.
And then obviously for Borderlands 2, I picked all that up, and because that's now backwards compatible. Borderlands 1.
Oh, is it?
Yep. So, and it comes with all the DLC as far as I'm aware, just built into it. So you bought yourself an Xbox One, you just chuck your Borderlands 1 disc in there and good to go. Yeah, it's good fun. Shit's hard. I get to play as Mordecai and throw a bird at people, which is great. My girlfriend's playing as Brick. So she gets to punch people in the face, which is always good fun. But that's that. I mean, it's what, a 2009 game, something like that. So if you've not heard of Borderlands 1, maybe you should check that out. Yeah, sort your shit out.
Yeah.
Odalus?
Oh yes, Odalus is a great game. It's one part. Okay, it's weird because it's
see a video.
It's a Metroidvania, but the Vania part of it is not like Symphony of the Night, not like Castlevania. It's Castlevania 1-2 type, where it's side-scrolling left to right. You've got stages, but in the sense of Metroid, you can go back to those stages, and there's like, with upgrades you get in later levels, you can go back and find like secret entrances to entire other parts of the world that aren't on the world map, and a whole lot of levels and other upgrades, and it's hard and good and fucking really kind of cool. It's got great like pixel artwork as far as the cutscenes are concerned. Like, it's got pixel cutscenes, like proper like dialogue cutscenes. Like, think Ninja Gaiden, except they're animated cutscenes. It's really cool. The combat's great. You've got like your Castlevania like hold up and use your attack, and you've got your, except I think it's Matt button. It's like a sub weapon, and you pick up ammo for that. And you got like a shopkeeper that you come across in the level. It's really fucking cool. It's really hard.
What's this on?
It's on Steam.
Oh, cool.
It's really not that expensive. If you guys out there, only can, or if you've seen that, that's very much like a Ninja Gaiden type game, like play, feel. It's like cyberpunk almost, or not even that. Maybe cyber steampunky type Ninja Gaiden.
Yep.
It's pretty cool. It's made by the same developers as that, whose name escapes me. I pumped maybe 5-6 hours into that already. I think I'm maybe 2/3 to a third of the way through, something like that. It's meaty. It doesn't look like it, because it looks like, I think there's maybe 6 stages or something like that, but with all the sort of extra stages and with its difficulty, like, it's real good. Alright, speaking of to segue, I played the games.
Metroidvania games.
Yeah, Symphony of the Night.
The Vania part in them.
Yeah, I can run through my games. Thank you for
I've had that one in my head the last 2 minutes.
So I went back and I played some Symphony of the Night. I'm trying to get my girlfriend into playing that because it's really good, and we're eventually, hopefully, probably going to do that on the Games Club at some point, because it's just a fucking wild game, and this idiot has not ever gone through it.
That's one of the nice things you called me lately.
Yeah, and you're lucky there were about 5 different words I cycled through before I got to that one. Symphony of the Night's great. I mean, you've played it, haven't you, Damo? You've played all some of it, I think.
Which one?
Symphony of the Night, Castlevania, Symphony of the Night.
Which one's that on?
PS1.
PS1. No.
Really?
Yes.
It's like, it's up there. It's yeah, you are. It's up there with Super Metroid.
Ah, okay.
Except you've got loot drops and the inverted castle, where basically, like, it's got different endings, and you can get an ending about a few hours in, or you can like do a different thing and have an entire other castle to explore.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Which is literally like, you get to the top of the castle, and then the top of the castle goes to the bottom of the castle, and you basically, the bottom of the castle becomes the top of the inverted castle. So it's literally all of the rooms are flipped. So you'll be like walking in on the ceilings of what rooms you were before.
Oh,
so
okay, that's
cool and interesting, and
tripping me balls.
Yeah, it's a great game. It's pretty much, you could argue that Symphony of the Night is the reason that Vania gets tacked onto the end of Metroid to describe that game style.
Oh, okay.
So that's that. I finally got back and finished Doom.
That's one that we've both done.
Fucking Doom is so good.
I've spoken over several months and I'm going to get back to it. I actually got back to it.
Fucking how good is
and
Doom?
I'm so glad I did.
Doom.
One of the best games of this year.
Rightfully so, being nominated for Game of the Year. Obviously, it's a disappointment at the Game Awards, which you would have seen our video a couple of weeks back now. Rightfully so. I mean, it's a fantastic game. I would even argue that some of the scores that came out for it, review-wise, were possibly a little unfair. They probably should have been a little higher.
They were harsh on the multiplayer.
Yeah, which, I mean,
you could... The multiplayer was rubbish, but...
Yeah, I mean, but you could argue that if that wasn't there, then...
Oh, it'd be higher.
Yeah, which is a shame. I mean, the snap map stuff's cool. They just recently threw out arcade mode. I don't know if you got a chance to look into that. Basically, it's they give you the story missions, and you've got to try and race through it, combo your kills together in terms of like speed of. So like bang, and then onto your next dude, and like bang, that sort of stuff.
Okay, yeah.
It's basically like time attack, score attack type version of all of the story levels in Doom. So if that's your thing, that's the thing. But fuck, it's such a good game, isn't it, man?
Oh, yeah, no.
Oh, it's real good. The only negative I'd say about that game is that
There's not more of it.
well, no, I mean, yes, there's that, but the issue that I had is in some of the later levels, some of the secrets are gated. Like, you can't... So in the earlier levels, you can literally go to the... Like, you'd be at the end of the level. You could turn around and walk all the way back to where you started in the level.
Oh, yeah, there's a few points of no return.
There are a few points... I mean, when I say points of no return, you can always go back to the mission menu and do them again.
Yeah, restart.
But unfortunately, like, it's just a really annoying thing.
But you've got to play 20 minutes of stuff again before you...
Yeah, I mean, and look, it plays fun, so it's okay, but... You know, it's short-sighted. It's unnecessary as well, because most of them, they're just like a door that they arbitrarily close.
Yeah.
And it's like, why? I pushed a button on here, had a wave of enemies, and then you closed the door behind me. Awesome.
You've also spent a lot of time with Hitman.
I have.
Metal Gear Solid 5.
Yes, I have. So I got into a real big stealth kick this month, which is weird. Super not like me.
No.
I tried to play the Splinter Cell games back in the day and was just like, why can I not shoot this dude in the face? Why do I keep failing this mission? This sucks. Fuck you, Sam Fisher. Die to fire. But after seeing a lot of stuff,
Ubisoft never sending us anything ever again.
yeah. Well, I mean, look, Conviction was good. The game after Conviction was not good.
Like this.
Yeah, it was alright. I mean, compared to Conviction. Anyway, Hitman. I've seen a lot of stuff coming out of giantbomb.com. A lot of their stuff they do, basically like a little look of each map every month, and they're hilarious and dumb and stupid. And I'd never really gotten a chance to touch the Hitman franchise since I was a GameCube kid and like 64 GameCube. Basically, that was the path that I took, and so I never really had access to it. But now that it's in the way that it is, I mean, we spoke a little bit about it when we were speaking about episodic stuff during our previous video,
the one
about the Game Awards. Yeah, I think it's a great idea in terms of being able to keep it relevant, because if I had have just seen like one little bit of footage of that game, I probably wouldn't have touched it. But because I kept seeing it be new and fresh. I kept seeing how dumb and crazy and fun this game actually is. Yeah, so like, for example, I killed one of the dudes in Marrakesh by attaching
Shooting in the face.
No, not at all. I put a remote mine on a toilet and kicked a toilet through one floor, and it fell on him. And mid-cut scene of him getting like KO'd and fucking killed by this toilet, there were two dudes standing nearby that he was scolding, and mid-cutscene, dude, I lost points for killing them, but it was one of the funniest things I have ever done in a video game. I killed a dude with a toilet and then blew up his friends. And then, but that's the thing, I was on a different floor, so I strutted out of that building with absolutely no heat on me whatsoever. It was fantastic. Like, the game's really dumb. Like, the first level, Paris, you can dress up as a male model who happens to have your cheek lines, and you can basically just roam around as this like super famous male model, like injecting people with lethal poison and throwing them off balconies, and then change your disguise into
there should be more male models out there doing that.
Yeah, let's be honest. Yeah, we really
Don't
need.
just assume genders, Paul. Gosh.
Oh, here we go.
Moving right along.
Yeah, look, it's just a really good game because they know the game that they're making. Like they know that they're making a really big dumb sandbox.
Yeah.
Like
We're going to do really big dumb things in.
Like they installed a like Master Vampire achievement mode in, and when I say achievement mode, it's like a challenge mode, like a set of specific challenges where in the attic of the mansion that you're playing in France, there's like a disguise where you dress up as the vampire magician, and it's literally like monocle, fucking cape, like red vest.
Yes.
It's so fun, like a big hat. It's so fucking dumb, and you have zero clearance, so like even if you're walking around in normal areas at your normal attire, like people are just like, what the fuck are you doing? And there's like a whole bunch of just challenges of like, hey, killer people doing this. So like kill someone while fireworks are going off in the background. Or like drop chandeliers on people while you're doing something really weird. Or it's just like they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And they're pushing it, they're like leaning into it really hard. Like all of the real serious stealth, like it's a really good stealth game. Like it's a really serious like, okay, there are vision cones and depending on what you're doing, you might attract a certain kind of attention. But then, like, I garroted a dude and pulled him between two cars, changed into his clothes, stood up and walked away. As about 10 people were watching, no heat. Because I happened to do it where, like, I changed into his clothes between the cars and no one saw that. And I'm just like, whatever, that guy's just over there. He killed himself or something. I don't know, whatever. I just walked away. Like, it's really dumb. It's so funny.
And how's that contrast to Metal Gear, which is very different
So,
game?
Metal Gear...
Metal Gear 5, obviously.
So the reason that I picked up Metal Gear is because I'd recently watched a whole bunch of the Metal Gear Solid games be played through. And I was getting kind of infuriated, I guess, at the person who was playing because I could see what it was trying to teach you as a player. There is a lot that it tries to teach you that game, whereas Hitman's just kind of like,
go for it.
We can show you this stuff through opportunities. Like here's like follow these steps, and you'll kill this person by like poisoning their special drink and drowning them in their own vomit, which is hilarious. But it's definitely like that is by numbers to show you how the game is played, whereas Metal Gear teaches you everything by environmental stuff.
Yeah,
you can just run in and gun everyone down if you want to, or you can take it stealthily, or you really do have a whole host of choice.
We can see which way Damo wants to play.
Which one? Like
just plow.
I mean, you can totally do that, but I mean, I actually because you can what's called Fultoning people in that, which is basically you attach a balloon to them and they get like carried off and they become your like crewmen.
Yeah.
And the idea of sweeping in and even if they're really like if they've got really terrible stats, just abducting an entire base of people without any alarms is hilarious.
All right, sweet, yeah, I'll work for you.
But I mean, it's a Metal Gear game, so the attention to detail is massive. Like people will spot the balloon. Like you can actually set off an alarm by someone being like, "Hey, that guy just got carried off into space with a fucking balloon. What?" Like, and then they go into like a semi-alert status, and then so they're more, they give you less leniency when it comes to being spotted. Because in Metal Gear Solid 5, when you get spotted,
Arkham games, that's for you would be Arkham games. Like when someone sees Batman tied up, that would be what you would.
Yeah,
something you can picture.
That's parallel,
yeah.
Well, I mean, or like any game where there's sort of like an enemy alert status. Basically, think of it as like a mid tier of like. They're on guard, they don't know what's going on, they don't know where you are, and then you've got like high where it's just like they know exactly where you are and they're shooting at your face. Like that type of thing. And they strip down a lot of the symbolism that they have from the previous Metal Gear games, where it's just like all of that stuff is done through radio communication. There's no visual indicator of what level of warning you're at. It's just like enemy status has changed. Like it doesn't like in text that disappears. Whereas in previous Metal Gear games, you would have seen where it's just got the counter timing down of like caution and all that sort of stuff. So it's really like they strip a lot of that down, but the amount of freedom that they give you is just ridiculous. Like
okay, cool.
The amount of weird situations, how I've gone about things completely different. Like I've restarted checkpoints because shit went bad, and I've gone about it a completely different way. Like I've decided maybe I'll approach like there's like a truckade of tanks coming in. I know, I'll run at them with a rocket launcher. No, that didn't work. So instead I lined the road with C4 and hid behind a rock, and like they would drive up to one, drive over it, I'd blow it up, they'd go, "Where is he?" and then keep driving, and that totally works too. Like it's a really like in terms of stealth, I actually find that Hitman is better purely because the Metal Gear stuff is cover-based, and I find that Snake doesn't really stick to walls like he should.
Okay.
Because you have to, so to stick to walls, you push against the wall, but you have to be like perpendicular to it. If you come in from an angle, it doesn't always happen.
Okay.
And so if you're doing it at the edge of a wall,
as tight as it should be.
so if you're doing it at like an edge of a wall, so you can like lean around and shoot someone, if you're not stuck to it, your shoulder will be out, and they'll be like, "Hey, I see you," bang. And it's kind of a letdown. But with Metal Gear, you also don't see like as much with vision cones as like they don't show you any of that shit. Whereas with Hitman, they give you a lot of leeway before they're like,
there's a bit more scaffolding there.
"You're doing a weird thing," or "You shouldn't be here." or someone's doing something they shouldn't.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. So, but I mean, they're both amazing games. Like for me, Hitman is some of the most fun I've had doing retarded stuff like dropping toilets on people and then running and
you've done
escaping
stuff in video.
I've done a lot of dumb stuff in video games, and yeah, some of the stuff in Hitman
and
is
Hitman's just helped you add to the list.
pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. And again, Metal Gear Solid is big. Like it seems like this big daunting thing, which I kind of like. So there's that.
Oh, cool.
And of course, Demon's Crest.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll kick off mine with Demon's Crest because we all did it. We'll talk about that next week. And there'll be a few things I'll knock through really quickly. So I've played a lot of VR over the course of this last probably month and a bit, really.
Yep.
Knocking through a lot of the launch titles. So Riggs, Eve Valkyrie, Hustle Kings, which is a really, really bad pool game. Battlezone VR. So do we recall Battlezone? It was a really old vector-based tanks game.
Yes.
From way back. Like, yep, there's a VR version of that. Pretty cool. Eagle Flight, which is the Ubisoft thing where you're...
But the one that they played at E3?
You're an eagle. And
is it the one that had the Oculus guys in for at E3?
yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Something we got to pick up the rabbit or something? And
Yeah, there was a competitive mode where you're... Yeah, it's like capture the flag, where the flag is a dead body.
Mm-hmm.
Like a dead animal body, and you just fling it around.
Yeah. Welcome to Nature, Paul.
Yeah, it's real life in a dystopian, post-apocalyptic Paris.
Do you get to be a male model and kill people?
No. I've spent a fair bit of time with Pokemon Go over the course of about a week, just because they had a big week where double XP, double this.
Yeah.
Ditto's available, so I went and got Ditto.
Oh, that's right.
I went
I
and
read
got
about
loads of
that.
bits and pieces, and now that event's over, so I've gone quiet.
Didn't they put more news out about Gold and Silver?
Yeah, they're no formal news, but they're pretty close from the sound of it. I played the latest Telltale Batman episode. That was the 4th one for the season, so we've only got one to go, and it's excellent again.
Sure.
It's been a pretty good season so far. Probably bucks the Telltale curse, where normally the 4th episode's a bit of a letdown.
Sure.
I don't know, they just seem to struggle building towards that ending. Their endings always seem to be right on point, but they struggle to build to it. This was fine. But yeah, knocked through all those VR ones. So then I played, there's a few, and I did review most of those VR games, so feel free to have a bit of a look.
Tell us about Titanfall 2.
It is a good, but not great shooter. It's fun to play, the movement's sleek, it's fast, it's exciting. But the campaign itself, decent story. There was just something about it that meant I just never quite, like the story they were trying to tell between the two characters, the Titan and the pilot, was a cool one, but for some reason I never quite got invested in it. I don't know what it was that was just kind of fighting against me there, because it was a really appealing prospect, but it just didn't grab me.
Yeah, right.
The multiplayer is just more Titanfall multiplayer. It's cool. It's fun, but just a bit more.
We should probably play that so we can give it the respect it deserves.
No, like it's a really good game.
No, I know.
But it's just a really good game.
Game of the Year nominee, Titanfall 2?
No, but it was.
It was.
Pokemon Sun and Moon we've already spoken about, so I won't spend too much time with that. Doom we've already spoken about, so I won't spend too much time with that.
Spend time. Let's
We've
talk.
done plenty
I want to talk about Doom.
And the one that I have spent a lot of time on
Doom's
is
so
Final
cool.
Fantasy 15, which has been out as of the time of recording for like 3 or 4 days, but I'm already up to about 30 hours in the game. I am just doing every single side quest you can. There's 14 chapters in the game. There's people who are finishing the game, those 14 chapters, in less time than I've spent getting to the start of chapter 5. Because I'm just going around, I'm doing side mission, great, I'll do that. I'm super, super over leveled from where I'm meant to be.
Taking the lightning approach.
Yeah, but then
Hey.
The lightning approach.
No.
when it gets to like, because the end boss is never as hard as like the
Side
like
stuff.
when you get up against if they still exist, the Omega weapon. There's always an Omega weapon floating around somewhere.
Presumably
Like that's
somewhere. I've heard there's a
run the
secret
battle.
boss somewhere in there where you're actually taking on like a Square Enix executive. Like he's suited up and he's like I don't know whether that's like some joke thing that's kicking around, but I believe
that would be fantastic. And it's just a development of like he's in a development room. It's like Kwanzaa 15 or something like that. It's like, you know, it's supposed to come out in 2006.
The battle
and
goes
it's
for
like,
10 years.
They have to call that area development hell, surely.
Yeah.
Surely they do.
I hope so.
that'd be good.
But the game's
Or like a
excellent so
Japanese
far.
name for development hell.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
The game has been excellent so far. I've really, really enjoyed the combat. It's for all the 13 had a lot of issues. The combat was its strong point. I think combat's always been the strong point of the Final Fantasy franchise. It is again here. The character interactions are cool.
So how is this game versus
this.
13? I had to. I had to. You brought up 13, I had to.
Much better.
Come on.
Versus 13 joke, it's good. The leveling system, the ascension system is really cool. Like I said, the character interactions are cool.
You don't know how
but
proud of that I am.
I can't speak to the grand narrative yet because I've just not done that much.
You're
of
up
it.
to episode 5 out of 14 or something.
Yeah, something like that.
So yeah, you probably still haven't revealed like the true enemy. Like, you know how there's always that creepy shit and...
Have you lost all your powers yet?
You don't start with anything, you just start building up. This is not a God of War game.
Okay. So what you're telling me is there will be no point in this game where you lose all your powers and then get them back again.
Well, possibly, but I don't know yet.
Okay.
By the time we record next month, I'll be able to tell you the whole lot because I'll probably smash through it in the next few days. I know there's at least 80 side quests because I've hit the trophy that says 40 and there's the top level trophy about side quests is 80. Presumably that's it.
Well, it could be 80,
But I am
80
certainly
plus.
I'm certainly going for the platinum because I'm really enjoying everything that the game's got in it.
Has it got one of those quirky, like, card game things again?
No, there's not anything like that, which is surprising. It seems like a few of those sort of side things are gone in favour of just heaps of hunts, heaps of side quests.
That's better. Like, those things were never
It's more your Witcher, Fallout style sort of thing rather than traditional Final Fantasy side quests, which are a few little gimmicky...
Yeah.
This is cool, let's go do it, or collect cards or whatever.
Let me
Don't
ask
get me
you-
wrong, I love Tetramaster and all those sort of things. They're great.
Let me ask you a very important question. Have you got any amazing photographs yet?
I've shared numerous amazing photographs on Twitter already.
Do you know about that stuff?
That is pretty
You
cool.
take
So,
selfies and stuff.
No.
the
So
way
one of the
basically
other
works-
characters takes photographs from
Prompter.
his... Yeah, I do.
no, it's
Come on,
fine,
son.
I'm just... For the
So he takes photographs from his camera's viewpoint in the game. And it could be at any time
basically-
during the game. It could be during combat. It could be during a cutscene. And like when you rest for the night, he'll be like, "Hey, here's all the photos I took today," and you can like save some to your album or post them to Facebook or Twitter.
Yeah, and that's true. But to your point about resting for the end of the night, so early
Is
days
it not?
of the game-
Is it not that, or is it?
No,
Is
so
it is that? Okay.
yeah, you can do that. No,
Remember, I've not played this. I've just
so-
from what I've heard.
as you like early days, you're going to need to rest at the end of each day because if you wander out at night, there's just demons out there that just
That's what
smash.
they get really hard at night, don't
but
they?
yeah,
Like
you
we
start
all do.
running into iron giants that are just way too strong. For
Iron
you.
Giants.
But
Love it.
But now I'm in that sort of ballpark, and I have been for a few levels now, where I can actually take them on and beat them. I'm actually stronger than some of them now at this point. And it
Because
means
you're
that-
30, like 25 hours beyond where you should be.
So, yeah, pretty much. But so I spent a whole bunch of time wandering around doing these side missions and stuff, and because I've leveled up to this point, I'm not resting at the end of each day.
Okay.
So because if you just go to your normal campsite, you just get normal 1 times your XP, whatever XP you built up.
Right.
You level up when you go rest. Well, I'm finding places where they're doubling that, so I'm raking in 20,000 XP, and then I'll go and deliver. And because I've earned so much money while I'm doing these side quests, I'll go off to a place that costs me a heap to stay there overnight, but also has like ×2 XP earned.
Right, so you're kind of
then
banking your
I
XP.
just get so much because I'm spending so much time out there 4 or 5 days without sleeping. Probably not good for me.
Yeah, your character.
That's why some of them are so ghostly white as it is.
Your characters are on speed the whole
Yeah.
time.
But then I bank it and I just level up like 5 times, 6 times at the end of each rest, which is great.
From what I've
But
seen
I'll
of the combat,
have more opinions next month, along with The Last Guardian, which is out in 2 or 3, which is already out by now.
with the combat in that game, I've seen that like if you do your like little warp thing to like a warp point, you get all your MP back and that sort of stuff. Like,
and you can
are there any like
there's
nuances?
There's a very, probably crappy cover system where you can take cover and builds up your HP and MP quickly as well. It replenishes that.
Yeah, right. I've seen people do
but
that
yeah, the
after
warping
combat
thing
where
as
they're
well,
just like
yeah.
they're sitting next to a rock, just
Yeah.
getting their health back.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that too much, but
You don't know how hard
Your-
the game's going to get.
Well, yeah. Well, it doesn't matter. I'm like 25 levels higher.
Yeah,
at the
true.
moment.
I suppose.
But
Acid faces an Omega weapon.
yeah, it'll come back to
Yeah,
bite me. It'll come back to
until,
it will come back to bite me. I've beaten Titan. He's the first one of the summons or whatever that I've come across.
So you.
Titan, they brought
So
back
what you're
Titan.
saying is you fell Titan.
You've seen him in some of the footage. That
I'm all over it today.
but yeah, I've beaten him. I haven't come across any of the other summons yet, but in time, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And I'm just gradually knocking off those trophies as we go. That's everything kind of for me this month. There'll be a few other bits and pieces I'm sure that I've not thought of, but the list's already long enough as it is. So,
Yeah, it's been a busy November.
Well, it's been good because it's kind of quiet, so I've just gone and knocked through things like Doom, which I thought, oh, geez, I may not get back to it. I've been able to get back to it and finish it.
And those Black Friday Steam sales and that Christmas Steam sale coming.
Yeah, I bought a ton of stuff.
Yes.
I bought Shadow Warrior 1 so that I can get through that
There's lots
because
to look forward to.
I'm looking forward to number
because
2.
You can get back to them and do this sort of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. It is really
cool
good.
New, like, you know, there's 1 or 2 new things. Steep, if you're into skiing.
Dead Rising 4.
Dead Rising 4 and The Last Guardian are still big names that are coming this month. So
Yeah,
well,
hopefully Dead Rising's not the worst thing ever.
all 3 of them are out by the time you're seeing this, but feel free to let us know what you think of them.
Yeah. And your November, your December.
Yeah, and what you
let us know.
But until next week, where we do Damo's Games Club game, which is, as we've mentioned numerous times, Demon's Crest. Thank you for watching. You make sure to please follow Player2AU on Twitter. Visit the website player2.net.au.
Check out the headlines.
Tacos
Just save it
Talks.
to your favourites, really. Just
Not
like
Jay.
Really,
have an open tab.
It should just be a homepage. Let's be
those
honest.
hits.
It should be a homepage.
I do that to plenty of pages. I have like 5 tabs that open up and I close them all after I'm done. But you know, just helping the industry, guys. Just put it out there.
I mean, ideally, read the content, watch the content.
yeah.
Gosh.
Except for that Paul James guy.
Yeah, except for that guy.
He's really shit.
Wouldn't want to be a member of any club that would accept this guy.
Except our game.
Okay.
Yeah,
You
make
win.
sure to visit site player2.net.au, catch Damo, Tacos Talks, not Jay on Twitter, myself, Paul James P2, Player2AU for the site itself. And until next time, thank you for watching, and we'll see you later.